Welcome, everyone. We are live, and it's Monday, Monday. It sure is. And it's a lovely day. It's 0 degrees. 0 degrees. Isn't that nice? Yes, yes, it is. It's lovely. The day for much, much windshield washer fluid. But you know what? We're great. We're great. Anyhow, I was talking to someone on the weekend, and we were talking about comparisons. Meaning, I'm not saying how you think that, oh, this person's better than me. No, 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 no. We're talking about chronic comparison, meaning it's how you live your life. You're comparing yourself to this person, that person. You're not as good as them. They're better than you. You see that? Comparison is a judgment. It blinds the eye, it deafens the ear. It is a thief. Comparison is a judgment. It is a thief. Why? Look at the mental mood, mental attitude when you compare yourself to someone else. Beneath that, where that mood is a feeling of inadequacy. If you think someone is better than you and you walk with that mental attitude, that mental mood, oh, it doesn't matter what I do, they're better than me anyway. You see that? That root is inadequacy. Now, how do you think you're going to show up in the world? What behaviors do you think you'll exhibit when you compare yourself to someone else? Now, my grandmother, you gotta love her. She said there's always somebody better than you, but there's nobody like you. Which means if you look out into the world, there's always gonna be somebody better. Because you're looking out into the world. You're casting a judgment, probably because you heard it somewhere. Oh, why can't you be more like your sister? Why can't you be more like your brother? Blah, blah, blah. Why can't you be more like their kids? Listen, we're human. We have heard it all. Okay, we have heard it all. But you see that little tiny seed that was planted there? Yeah. If we do not get rid of that root, which is the mental mood of inadequacy that would cause, remember cause and effect? That mood of inadequacy causes you to act a fool. Look at what it does. Look at what it does. We've all been there some point in our lives with that feeling of inadequacy. And what have we done with it? You see the behaviors that we exhibit? Ah, and when you look at the behavior you exhibit, well, now look at how people treated you. Oh, poor thing. Well, she really does try. Bless her heart. Whew, that poor baby. Yeah, this is how they treat you when you walk from that mental mood, that place, that mental attitude of inadequacy. You are not George. You're not Susie May. You're not Etta May. You are you, and you are unique in your expression. If I try to be you, something's missing. Each person has their specific role to play. And when you compare yourself and try to be like someone else, there's something that's not being expressed, which is you. You're busy expressing someone else. And when we are busy expressing someone else, who's expressing us? So you see, take some time, reflect, not to judge, Look at yourself and see what behaviors you exhibit when you compare yourself. And you'll realize that you don't feel good. You don't feel good about it at all. Oh, not even one iota. It's actually quite crushing when we compare ourselves to others. Now, let's set the boundary for a moment here. If you are looking out into the world and you see a mental attitude that you like, and you want to develop that in yourself, run with it, do it. Because it's not, you're not saying, well, that person's mental attitude is better than mine. No, you're saying, I wonder what my life would be like if I exhibited that mental attitude. And you try on a mental attitude and you test it out to see how it works for you. That's different from getting up in the morning and looking out into the world. Woe is me because I am not as good as. Truthfully, everybody comes from their own point of origin mentally. They do. You do not drive David Goggins to do what he, that inner mental attitude, unless he tells you. You don't know what it is. So you cannot look at his life and say, oh my God, why can't I be more like him? Because you don't know the cause. You are just seeing the effects. So this is why when you compare yourself to others, it opens up the door for many mental attitudes that are not what you want. There's jealousy that comes out of that. There's envy that comes out of that. Self deprecation that comes out of that. And do you think that those things make you feel better? No, not in the least bit. They make you feel worse. And then see the intensity of how you feel. My word. Then you can predict the behavior you exhibit now. Then you can predict the way people are going to treat you. So we do not compare ourselves. Oh, but there's a star quarterback. Let me train harder. Why are you training harder? Are you training harder to outdo somebody? Or are you training harder to do what? Uplift yourself? You've got to know the difference between the two. Some would venture to say that without that comparison, without competition, we don't get any better. And look at the reason why you do something. Then you see the reason why you do something. It will show you your mental mood, your mental attitude. It'll show you what you habitually walk in. It will show you. And then you see it. Now you've grown. What are you going to do with it? Now, how do you fix the problem of comparison? You comprehend what it is, and you see the mental mood. And that mental mood has behaviors that match it. So you change it the same way you change anything. You get a new attitude, a new mental attitude of how you want to be, which will bring about a new set of behaviors. And you just practice those things. You practice the mental attitude. You practice the mental attitude. Now, how are you supposed to practice a mental attitude? You can't even see that. What am I practicing? In your mind's eye, when you say, I am, and ... you know what you've declared yourself to be. You see, because when one is walking from a place of confidence, You don't look around at other people and judge yourself based on them. You look at your life and you say, oh, where can I progress? What mental attitude can I change? That's what you start to do for you. Remember that Nike commercial? Like Mike, if I could be like, I wanna be like Mike. What do you think they're talking about? Many people can say they want to be like Michael Jordan. But when you start getting up at the crack of dawn and going out and practicing, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about his mental attitude. You don't look at his accolades. You look at the mental attitude. The mental attitude is the predetermining factor of the accolades. You want to talk ball? We could talk about Steph Curry. I heard he was smaller than the average ball player. I don't know because I don't watch basketball. But I'm telling you, for the very simple fact that I know who he is, tells me something. It tells me how much time he spends in the gym. It tells me how much time he spends on the court. Hmm. If he's going to spend that much time, what is driving him? See that mental attitude? Sometimes this is the problem with comparison. We look at what we deem to be accolades. We look at all of the quote unquote celebrity and we think that, oh my God, I got to be like that because I'll get that. You don't know. But if you spend the time fostering your mental attitude, well, then you know there's only greatness to come out of that. But if you're looking at them, you're not doing. Hello? If you're looking at them, you are not doing what you're not doing. Practicing your own mental attitude. They're busy practicing their mental attitude while you are rocking in the corner somewhere talking about, I'm not good enough. Get the mental attitude correct, and the behaviors follow. Neville Goddard did say it also. He did say that if you're going to look at somebody, at least look at their mental attitude. You do not look at all the glitz and the glamour. Look at the mental attitude. It is always going to be that mental attitude. So the next time you are tempted to compare yourself, and trust me on this one, I know a thing or two about comparison. I sure do. I see it. I go on some of these platforms and I see, like I told you before, and I see how many people are in these rooms and in these spaces, and I see these numbers. We're talking in the hundreds. And if you're on Twitter, sometimes there's thousands of people in a room, all having a conversation in these audio rooms. And I'm sitting here like, oh, look, I've got 3 people. Should I be more controversial? So you can't come and tell me that I don't understand comparison. Because I do. And then I have to remind myself, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What are you comparing yourself to? Look at the conversations. Look at the conversations. Is this what you're even talking? Is this even what you are about? So why should you feel bad? Stay in your lane. And you know what people always say? I'll tell you this. They always say, Angela, you are so consistent. I was gone from the app for this long, but I came back today and here you are. I can trust that you're going to be there. You see, if I am busy looking at someone else and saying I am not like them, then who's being me? Oh, sure, it's not glamorous. But is that what we're going for? This is why one must know themselves. Stay true to your mental attitude. And if you pay attention when you are comparing yourself, you will see the root. You will see what causes that mental comparison that you're doing with the other person. You'll see it. And when you see it, now you can be honest with yourself and say, oh my God, you mean I've been doing this all along? Yes, you have. I don't know if you can hear these two out here. I don't know what kind of conversation they're having, but they're having a conversation. They don't compare themselves. We don't compare ourselves. So today, if you're comparing yourself to other people and talking about you're not as good as them and how can I get like them, then practice what they're practicing. Faithfulness to their mental attitude. That's all they've got on you. Joachim, all the way from Germany. Who's worldwide? Look at that. Isn't that something? People are listening to us all the way from Germany. Listen, let me tell you something. Stay true to your mental attitude. We always do. That's why when you hear scripture tell you, choose this day whom you will serve, because you clearly can't have two masters. Just one. So which mental attitude will it be? Which mental attitude will you practice? You see, and this is the thing we see in our children, right? We think sometimes we're encouraging them and we're saying, well, why can't you be more like your brother? Why can't you be more like your sister? Why can't blah, blah, blah? Oh, planting seeds in their minds. When in actuality, if we would pay attention to see who they are, now we begin to encourage them in who they are. Comparison is no joke. It is like a parasite. It will drain you. Because every time you attempt to be like somebody else, what happens to you? Leslie, darling, I see you. Every time we compare ourselves to someone and we judge ourselves according to what they have accomplished, we lose something of ourselves. You're not here to lose things of yourself. You're here to gain. What? Knowledge of the self. So take your time. Listen, you might not know who she is, but I'm going to say her name. Davina Porter. I don't even know if you know who Davina Porter is. You might not know who she is, but if you do, you'll understand. Davina Porter is the creme de la creme of narrators. I remember the first time I heard this woman's voice, I was like, my God. I said, oh, wow. Is she ever spectacular? Oh, yeah, she is phenomenal. Oh, but my dear, we all have those moods where we feel lazy. It is only a mood. So you start with the smallest task. The one that can be accomplished in the shortest amount of time is where you start. Turn some music on, hype yourself up. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? And that's how you get yourself to move and act and accomplish the tasks on your to-do list. Start with the one that's easiest. Oh, indeed. Indeed. But anyway, let me tell you about Davina Porter, because then you'll begin to grasp what I'm saying. And you've all heard, oh, these are the greats of narrators. If you've seen National Geographic, you know who he is, David Attenborough. Then there was Lauren Green's New Wilderness. These people had, oh, my word. And then there was Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, Robin Leach, these voices that they had, and I was just amazed. I was just amazed at these people. Oh, really, I was. Lots of them have accents, right? And an accent that you don't hear all the time is very, very lovely on the ear. It really is. And for the longest time, I still do to this day, but not to the degree that I used to, because I've learned a lot. And I'm like, oh man, you can't compete with a British accent. They just have a way about them when they speak. They just do. Sir Ian McKellen. They just have a way. And for me, I always said, oh man, how do you compete with that? You don't. You do not compete with it. You don't. You look at you and you ask yourself, well, what do I have? What is my vocal tone? What is there about me that makes me unique? Let me enhance that. Let me do that. Shoot, we can always say Morgan Freeman. Uh-huh. We can say Matthew McConaughey. All right, all right, all right. You see, this is what I'm saying. They are all unique in their expressions. They are all unique in their expressions. That is why you do not compare yourself to another, because then you won't spend the time to develop yours. But then you'll be moping about the place talking about, oh no, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't get any work, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, wait, all the while robbing yourself of your opportunities that you can have. So how does one overcome it? By recognizing you are unique. What is your special place? How do you do it? That is where you turn to. And that means instead of watching everybody else to see what they're doing, turn inside and watch what you do. There's something that you do that lights you up. I told you how I get most of my clientele for narrating. I've done it a few times. I can't even tell you what would possess me to do it, but I did it. I just wrote them and I said, oh my God, I totally love your synopsis. I was moved by it. I want to narrate this. and I send an audio sample, and I get the job. That's it. I can't sit here and think about, oh my God, but what if they don't like me? I don't care. I like me. You have to, that's where it starts. You think Morgan Freeman gets up and hates the sound of his voice? Pfft, girl. No, he does not. He would have to come and tell me that himself. But I am walking under the assumption that that is not how he feels about his own voice. Perhaps when he was younger, he didn't think anything of it. And somebody said, oh my God, you should totally ... And then there he is. So much so that Dave Chappelle said, I need you to narrate my life. When you are busy judging yourself in comparison to another, that underlying mental mood is one of inadequacy. And if you are walking around with inadequacy in your bosom, you will speak as if you are inadequate. You will walk as you are inadequate. You can't walk any other way because you are the one with the mental attitude of inadequacy. So you have to move and speak and breathe and be inadequate. Is that what you want for your life? Oh, but Angela, I don't know how to break free. Well, let's pull a queen today, shall we? I want to break free. How does one break free? By first recognizing what you are doing. And when you see what you're doing, you're free of it. Oh, it's that easy? Yes, here's why. When you see that you're walking with inadequacy in your bosom, you remember the principle of correspondence that tells you, whoa, wait a minute, as within, so without. That's why I'm being treated this way, because I am walking with the stench of inadequacy. And then you say, well, let me freshen up. What are you going to freshen up? Your mental attitude. What would you be doing if you were more than adequate? How would you walk into a room if you were more than adequate? How would you approach people? How would they approach you? How would you speak to people? How would they speak to you? Because if you were adequate, you would walk into that room. I don't know if you can see my PTR. You would walk into that room like popcorn. I have never seen, other than a little bit, I've never seen a Roo who was secure in what he was and what he is. Popcorn commands the space that he walks into. I didn't have to teach him how to do that. It came out of him. So nobody has to teach you how to be adequate. It is in you to be adequate. It is just that perhaps you've believed the lie of inadequacy. So how does one see the truth? You ask yourself, what would my behavior be? What would I be doing if I felt adequate? And you say, man, I would walk into that room and I would say this. I'd make them clutch their pearls and go, you did not. And you would say, yes, I did. You would walk in there like you owned it. You see that mental attitude? Walk in there with that. And if you do not know who Chevalier is, find out. Oh, yes. He was a virtuoso and was almost erased from history. Ah, snap. Oh, yes, one of the greatest composers, but we don't know his name, but we do now. Chevalier. Listen, how can you not love the feel of French? Like the Merovingian says, it's so lovely to curse with. It's like wiping your arse with silk. You have to love these things. So when you start to feel your adequacy, you start to feel it as it bubbles up within you and you say, yes, I would behave like this. And Joachim, you're absolutely correct. That is the starting point of everything. And my daddy tells me that. He says, if somebody doesn't like you, they don't like themselves. That is the principle of correspondence, as within, so without. So what would you be doing? If you stopped comparing yourself to others, what would you be doing? Well, you'd be walking in whatever that beautiful mental attitude is. So you start to see it in your mind's eye and you begin to rehearse that mental attitude. Of course, at first, it is invisible to the outside world and it feels like you're being delusional. But we must remember this. Ooh, Casablanca. I was out in the backyard yesterday taking out the recycling and yeah, and I was glad that I had gone out there and set down some footprints. I sure was. And as I was walking out to the gate, putting my feet in those footsteps already there, I said to myself, wow, Angela, that's your life. You walk down the same pathway that you set down day in and day out. So you see, my beautiful friends, at first it is a challenge because you do get snow in your boots because nobody's set down a path there before. So it feels awkward. It feels funny. It feels kind of weird. Feels like you're lying to yourself. Talking about, oh, please, me? Adequate? Look at them. They've been doing this for years. I haven't even gotten started yet. What's the point of even trying? Oh, you see that pathway? You are familiar with that mental pathway, but you want a new mental pathway. So you are going to have to forge that new mental pathway with your persistence. Your new mental attitude that is presently invisible, that only you can see, you start to practice it. How, Angela? How do I practice in my mind's eye? What would you be doing in reality? How would you smile at people? How would you say hello? If you were this confident virtuoso. That is what you see, that feeling that just overtakes you right there when you think about how incredible you are and how you would behave as you walk into a room. That is what you rehearse in your mind's eye. Because what are you doing there? Literally, in your brain, you are setting down a pathway for you to follow every single time you want to behave like that. You will follow that pathway. That's what you're rehearsing. That's why you persist. You persist in the new mental attitude. That is how you stop comparing yourself to other people. That's how you do it. Who would I be? What would I be doing? I want to see it. And you start to see it. And when you start to see it, it'll do something to you. Remember, you do not have to be the one smiling to benefit from the smile. Listen, this is when I tell you that the law is gracious, it's a human trait, grace. empathy, but the law exhibits them first. How so? Something as simple as a smile. If you look at somebody as they are smiling, your body will release endorphins just like them. But if you look at them and they're smiling and you say, ugh, heifer, get out my way, smiling, you're crazy. Nothing to smile about. Look at the world we live in. You stifle your endorphins. Don't do that. Don't judge why they are smiling. Reap the benefits of watching them smile, and you'll help yourself. So then the question becomes, instead of looking at someone and judging where they are, talking about they're better than you. No, 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 no. Observe their greatness. Observe their greatness and allow your greatness to blossom in the presence of it. Well, obviously, if you can just look at somebody smiling and release endorphins, well, then you can look at success and begin to foster success within your own self. You look at the beauty around you, you begin to foster the beauty within you. Good, bad, or indifferent, all you've got to do is see it. Hmm. Participate in the horror by watching it. What do you think you foster within the self? All you need to do is see it. So you choose. Choose. So do not compare yourself. Don't judge. Don't judge. If you see success, just appreciate it. Why? Because it is doing something inside of you. Let it. Let it. Because let me tell you, when I hear Davina Porter, when I hear David Attenborough, when I hear them, when I hear Morgan Freeman, Matthew McConaughey, I start to hear my own voice. And I get inspired to narrate more. Oh, yes. That's exactly what you remind yourself of. You see a great ball player? Same thing. Remember the Bible story with Jacob and how he cut out spots, like little circles in the sticks, and he put them in front of the livestock. Because remember what his father-in-law told him? All the stuff that is spotted and sickly you can have. And Jacob was like, spotted and sickly? Well, I'm going to show you, sir. So he gave all of the healthy livestock those spotted sticks so that when they reproduced spots. You see, that story has nothing to do with livestock. It has everything to do with what is before you. What are you looking at? You keep looking at that thing, you will start to recreate it within yourself. That's what that story is telling you. Oh, indeed it is. Well, you listen to the story, it says his livestock began to expand and outgrow his father-in-law's. So much said he said, go, take your stuff and go. I don't have room for you too. And that's how he became as wealthy as he did. Because the story tells you they looked at the sticks and reproduced the spots. Because that was the bargain. The bargain was you can have the spotted and sickly. And he said, I'll have the spotted, but not the sickly. He did not recreate the illness. He recreated the strength, is what he did. By putting those spots in front of the strong and the robust and the healthy livestock so that they would reproduce what they saw. So today, you do not judge what you see. You allow it to stir up within you what is there, like embers. All you got to do is blow on the embers, and then a fire begins to erupt. You see, the embers, what makes them embers, tells you that they are still alive with a spark. If it was just coal, it's just coal. But an ember indicates that there is life. So allow, instead of judging and blinding the eye, recognize that you can stir up within yourself. And the funny thing is, you don't even have to force that thing to stir up. It just rouses itself. That's all you do. So today, my beautiful friends, no longer do you stifle your beauty under the weight of comparison. Don't do that. Allow yourselves to rise to the occasion. That's what you do. That is what you do. So, well, hello there, my dear KZ. Look at where you are. You on Facebook today? Ow. It's good to see you. Joachim, welcome back, stranger. I haven't said your name in a while. LC. Uh-huh. I know, Miss Leslie. I know it's you. That means uh Melly Mel is in the house. Possibly Kimberly's in the house. Mr. Stafford Jr. even? Who could venture to guess? The better man even. Who's here with us this morning on Twitter? Yoda Green. Oh, Tiffany, my dear sweet Tiffany and Javion. Hello. It's good to see you. It really is great to see you in these Twitter streets. Who is hanging out with us on Fanbase this morning? Ray Ray is in the house. Big Mike is in the house. Who? One of these days, my voice will be deeper enough and I'll do it. Oh, Toyera, darling. I see you. Miss McQueen? Miss McQueen, that's Popcorn Girl. Miss McQueen, that is Popcorn. Girl, let me tell you, he is so handsome. But you know what? I digress. Michael, I see you. I see you. I see you. But that's what's happening. Y'all, welcome. And thank you for being here on this lovely, lovely Monday morning. Miss McQueen, I'll have you know it is 0 degrees today. 0 degrees. Yes. Yeah, I know. Listen, when I see these people outside of their shorts, I want to vomit too. I'm like, it's 0 and you got your knees out in this? You crazy. I will keep my knees nice and warm, thank you. But yes, I appreciate each and every one of you. And I thank you for being here today. So remember, if you are tempted and you have been habitually walking the mental pathway of comparison, you now know how to change. What would I be doing if I were not comparing myself to someone else? But we don't have to be jealous or envious of their greatness. Why ever that? There's no need to be jealous of it. You know why? Because when whatever it is you look at, you begin to stir it up within yourself. Good, bad, or indifferent, whatever it is you're looking at, you begin to recreate inside yourself. Oh, yes. So, do you want to get down? What you gonna do? What are you going to do? Observe greatness and see how it feels within your own bosom. And then you begin to what? Rehearse that mental attitude. Rehearse how you would look at someone. Rehearse how you would shake someone's hand. Rehearse how you would walk into a room. Rehearse how you would hear your name. Oh, yes. Rehearse how you would hear them talking about you. And over time, that neurological pathway that you set down with that rehearsal is how you will act. An interesting fact about the great Tina Turner. Allegedly, she was never spontaneous on stage. Allegedly, based on Eddie Armani and his recollection, even down to her laugh on stage, was all rehearsed. She rehearsed the way she wanted to perform on stage. That was it. So remember why you persist. You persist in the behavior you want to perform. Oh, the bane of my existence, but it is what makes me great. Depending on where the F is in the sentence or the word or the S, I will whistle. I just whistled on the F. It just depends on where it is in the word or the sentence. Welcome to the Gap Girl world. But I digress. So, anywho, you now know how to deal with this. And it is only your practice that sets down that pathway. And that is why you persist in your new behavior. And of course, for those of you who want to doubt me, go to any karate class, go to any cooking class, go to any class you wish, and you will recognize that we perform what we practice. Go to any choir rehearsal. You think they just get up on the stage and sing? No, they practice. So one must persist in their practice in order to perform it. But don't let me preach. Don't let me preach. I'm going to go and get ready for work. But remember to practice. Remember to practice. Ow. You know I love you. Truly I do. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything in the chat. For you, Miss McQueen, I will do this. I trust that I can still do it. There he is. Oh, yes. This one's for you, Miss McQueen. I hope it shows up. There's Biscuit. I don't know if you can see it, but he's got the blue. It's just this beautiful shade of morning glory blue that is unique unto him with his striking green eyes. I sent them to you. I sent you those pictures in your Insta so you can see our fellers and how they've grown up. But anywho, that was just an aside. Ah, my chickens really are lovely. Anywho, anywho, again, I appreciate you for being here at the crack of dawn. I do. Remember what to do. And before you know it, you'll stop remembering because you'll just be doing it. You will have set down the pathway. Groove is in the brain. The groove is in the brain, but the groove is actually in the heart. It's through your persistence. The brain is just the external evidence of it. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Much love to each and every one of you. I didn't get to see Commander today, but I'm sure he'll catch the replay. Right? I'll see you all again right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Fanbase. 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right here. Much love to you all. Peace out.